Hello, and welcome to part 2 of Earthway Experience's video series on permaculture, self-reliance, and self-sufficiency. We'll also, in later series, talk also a little bit about some primitive survival skills. Welcome to our Permaculture Center. It's now about the 23rd of September. It's quite late in the season. I haven't been up here for, over a month, so it's a little bit wild. I haven't trimmed any grass or any of the clover or anything, but this is our front garden here. You can see there's a good amount of salad in there, and some of it is starting to go to seed. There's broccoli, lots and lots of dill. In this planter here, I see the marigolds have already gone past flowering, and this is the middle planting area. And I just got up here about 10 or 15 minutes ago, and it looks like I'm going to still be able to get some good salad here tonight. When we bought this property, 3-4 years ago, the man had just taken down a barn, and there's these rocks all through the garden. And at first I thought, okay, I'm going to take these rocks away. But after studying permaculture and reading more, and especially a north place like we are here, these rocks really bring in the warmth and the sun. Here's one there in the middle of the garden, and it brings in the heat into the soil. So it's quite a good thing to have. So the barn was sitting here for so long time, the soil was a little bit poor. And until I started doing permaculture here this last summer now, I was having trouble getting anything to grow. But I came up today and I saw, my zucchini. Look at this zucchini. It's not so bad. You can see it. It's quite a nice size zucchini, so I'll have zucchini for dinner tonight. So there's lots of clover here that I planted in between all the rows, and the clover's even starting to, you could say, take over the planting areas themselves. And I'm not worried because that's just lots of natural compost. I'll come in later before the snows come, and I'll cut everything down and make a big pile, like a compost heap almost, on top, and it'll mulch and fertilize for next year. Here's a strawberry, and we say smultron. There's a few smultrons here. I'm gonna have to eat these. They're wild strawberries, so you see they're quite small, but they're very intense. Very intense strawberry. Wow, those are good. But we're going to get chickens next year, and I'm going to let the chickens in here, and the chickens are going to help me weed. I had a couple of woofers here this summer, and 3 of us spent 3 hours pulling the grass here. I'm going to take a little pause here. I got to eat a couple more of these smultron. We spent 3 hours in here weeding, and it just came right back. So I'm gonna let some ducks or some chickens help me next year. In the first video, Permaculture at Home, I mentioned the vehicle that we had for working up here, and it can haul 2.6 metric tons, 2,600 kilos. So for you Americans, multiply that by 2.2. But the vehicle is being modified for vegetable oil, and we're going to just use the regular tank and use that for the vegetable oil, and then about a 1.5 gallon tank in the front will be diesel. And I have an electric switch in the compartment, and when I'm about 15 minutes away from here in the winter time and it's 20 below, I turn the switch and it puts diesel instead of vegetable oil in all of the pipes in the system. So when I stop, it doesn't freeze. And then then when I come and I start the car and I start driving home, there's special heaters that we've put in there on the fuel pump. So it'll start taking that cold vegetable oil and it'll heat it, and it'll heat it in the tank as well. So we'll be smelling like a French fry machine, but it will be much more cleaner for the environment. I'm showing you a pile of lumber that I've gotten secondhand from the internet, from a place here called Blocket. People put out an announcement and say, here, give me $20 and come haul it away. 700 bricks. We paid $60 for those, and we went and hauled them away. And then here's my pile of timber, blocked timber, we say in Swedish, and it's going to be the new sauna house. So back to my original story. When I started this, is when we bought this, there was a stuga cabin, just the shell. You see it in the background there. And I spent about 2 years getting it all fixed up. There was the roof and the walls were up, but there was no floors, no windows, no doors, nothing. It was just empty inside. So I spent a couple years fixing that up and getting it ready, and then I thought, well, I want to build this permaculture center up and have some more log houses for people to come and stay. Right now we're looking at a storage building that was built last summer, and then on next to it is an outside kitchen. So you can be outside but under cover for when it rains and cook. But I wanted to have cabins, but it's so expensive to have somebody build them. I went to a 1-year-long course to learn how to build timber houses, log houses, and this is the crane that we're going to use and the location that we'll build them, and then you number them and mark them and then move them. So we'll build a big sauna house here on property, and then just move it a few hundred meters away, so that at the end of a long day of working, we can go in and have a nice hot sauna, clean, relax, and replenish for the next